Hey everybody, it's Darren Carr again, Morris Fire Department. It's Fire Prevention Week 2020, and this year's fire prevention message is, do you remember? Serve up safety in the kitchen. Well, I'm down here at the fire hall and somebody's in our kitchen. Let's see who's in here. What do we got going on in the kitchen here?
Oh,
There's
hey, Darren,
Kevin.
how's it going today, man?
Good. What are you up to today?
Hey, we're just doing a few dishes and got a few things on the oven we're cooking today.
Yeah?
Would you like to take a look at it?
Absolutely.
All right, we got something good brewing on the stove.
All right, what do we got going over here?
Well, we're just boiling some water. We're going to make some spaghetti today.
All right.
But while we're here, you think we should be talking about cooking up some fire safety this afternoon?
I think so. That's the message this year for
All
for the fire prevention message.
Yeah, well, let's do it.
All right, what do you got?
Well, I guess the first thing is, you know, kids out there, if you're watching, the first thing we want to talk about is kettle safety. Now, we shouldn't be near the stove anyways if we're anywhere between kindergarten and the third grade. We should always be, just let mom and dad or brother and sister be doing the cooking in the kitchen, right? However, if you do see a handle on a kettle, maybe let mom and dad know that we don't want the kettle hanging outside the stove. We know why that is, guys? Because somebody could come along and hit the handle on the kettle and knock it off, and then someone would get burned really, really bad and possibly start a fire in the house.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that handle hot right now, Kev?
Yeah, it's very hot, so we don't want to touch it. You can see we have a fire going on here, and I always use a nice oven mitt to move the handle, or I always tell my mom and dad when I was younger, I always move the handle inside toward the stove there.
All right.
It's extremely hot. We don't ever want to touch that, right?
Good tip.
Yeah, you bet. The other part is, I always know that the surface of the stove, the top part right here, could always be hot. Even though it might be an electric stove or a gas stove, even if you shut it off, the surface of the stove still might be hot. Right?
Yeah, so if you move that pan and turned off that flame, that top grill part there is going to be hot to hand.
Yeah, very
That could
hot.
burn you.
It doesn't look hot right now,
No,
does
it sure
Darren?
doesn't. It's not red or anything.
No, you don't even know.
But I'm not putting my hand on it, but I can feel the heat over that.
If you touch that stove, you'll definitely get burned and it'll hurt real bad. So we never want to play around a stove, which brings me to my next point. Young kids should always be at least 3 foot away from a stove at any given time. And that means no playing with pets or playing with toys around the stove. Leave that area for mom and dad or an older brother or sister to play in that area.
Oh, good
So
tip.
always stay away from that, so that way you don't have to worry about touching it. And 3 foot is about as wide as your arms, right? So always just stay about this far away from a stove, whether it's operating or not, all right? And the last thing you guys could be thinking about, or maybe even bring home to mom and dad, and Darren, you like this because you got a couple kids at home too, right?
Yes, sir.
But we got to make sure you're always making sure mom and dad are always at the stove if they're cooking, right?
Don't walk away.
Don't ever walk away from the stove. That's right, Darren.
What if the Vikes are on?
Even if the Vikings are on, whether they're winning or losing, right, guys? You always have to stay at the stove.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Yep. So if you ain't looking, you ain't cooking.
Ooh.
That's the rule, right? So if you have an older brother or sister, or you have a mom and dad that might be doing some cooking in the kitchen and they step away from the stove, maybe you could remind them to go back to that stove and to stay focused on what they're cooking. First off, so they don't burn your food, and then secondly, so we don't burn anything else.
Great tips. Great tips, Kev.
You bet.
When are we going to eat?
Well, hey, Darren, I'm about ready to serve this spaghetti on up. If you want to grab a plate,
All right.
Say goodbye to the kids, and we'll talk to you here in a little bit about another subject. And me and Darren are going to go eat.
Sounds good. Hey guys, Darren Carr at the Morris Fire Hall. Again, we got to do some washing of the fire trucks. I wonder if we got anybody in here that can help us out. Oh, Kev's still here in the kitchen.
Oh, hey, Darren, how's it going?
Good, man. You want to help me wash some fire trucks? We got to do some cleanup out here before the kids come if they can.
Actually, man, I'm doing some cooking with the microwave.
Cook it.
And so
Microwave?
Yeah, after we had that spaghetti, I was thinking maybe we could whip up a little bundt cake.
I love bundt cakes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, it's only take a minute, and we'll just cook this. But maybe you got a minute to talk about microwave safety in the kitchen.
Yeah, is there any pointers on that?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, other than you shouldn't walk away, apparently. I
Well,
was
yeah.
going to, but...
Yeah, well, hey, yeah, I know trucks need to be washed. So we'll just talk about safety for a little bit, and then you and I can go wash trucks, and then we'll have the bunk cake.
Perfect.
All right, so I guess number one, never leave a microwave unattended. There it is.
Right.
All right. So until you hear those beeps, you need to stick around your microwave and don't walk away. We know the rule. If you ain't looking, you ain't
cooking.
Right?
I just learned that.
Yeah, right. So make sure that if you're operating a microwave, if mom and dad says you can make maybe oatmeal, or maybe if you like mac and cheese in a cup, or any other nice snack to have at home, maybe a Hot Pocket. If you're allowed to do that at home, make sure you're always standing by the microwave. Don't ever leave it.
All right.
Right?
Right.
We always have that nice timer on that on the microwave that tells you when the food is done, but sometimes if the timer isn't set right or something might be happening, we should always be by the microwave and just making sure that nothing's happening from a safety perspective.
We'll open that baby up. What do you got going on in there?
Let's take a look at this thing. Don't get too close. I don't want. It's going to be kind of a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Take a look on in there.
Right.
Ooh, you can see the steam rolling out of here, can't you, Darren?
Jeez, about took your eyebrows off.
Yeah, I know. It smells wonderful.
It's water.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, it's part of my bun cake recipe.
Okay.
So, when you're operating a microwave, it's so important that you always remember that the contents, the food might be super hot. And so what I like to do is make sure I wear my trusty oven mitts around the fire station.
That's cute.
And always be super, super careful. You like these?
Mm-hmm. That one's nice.
Yeah, thanks. It's been around for a while. So when you're pulling your dish out, it's good to let all the steam out of the microwave, right? Make sure you get all that steam and hot stuff out of there, because that could kind of burn your face, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So when we want to grab our dish, we want to make sure that we're very steady with that, right? I'm going to bring it over to the table here.
All right.
And we're going to make sure that we're very careful, because them contents can spill. But the other part, while we're wearing our fancy oven mitt, is that we don't want to burn our hands from the dish, because sometimes the dish can get a little hot as well, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
like a glass dish would, like a glass bowl.
Yeah, glass bowl. So those are super, super important. So make sure you set that bowl away, and you see the steam coming off of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sure that's good indication that the food is very what?
Hot.
Hot, that's right. So make sure you give that food some time to cool down. And we're gonna shut our microwave, right?
Now, I heard one time, and I've seen this before, when I make bags of rice. You ever make bags of rice in the microwave?
I have.
Or vegetables sometimes?
Yeah.
When you go and open those bags up, it says, careful when you tear that open. But boy, sometimes I try and open it away from myself, because it gets pretty hot coming out of there.
That's so true. Yeah, if you're making a bag of rice, or maybe it's some vegetables in a bag, when you open that bag up, stay away. Keep your face away from the steam, because steam will do what? Yeah, it can burn our face, right?
Right.
So make sure that we're keeping our head far away. The other part is, too, before you go and throw food into a microwave, there's a couple things you don't want to put into the microwave, because the way the machine operates, basically, you can't have any metal objects in there. So things like silverware, like spoons and forks, make sure to remove them from the bowl or the plate that you're going to put into the microwave. The other thing is Reynolds wrap or tin foil, aluminum foil they call it. We don't want to put any of this stuff in there either, because that could really, really cause some issues with your microwave. Okay?
No metal. Got it.
No metal, yeah. Yep.
If you ever have a question on if it could go in the microwave or not, what would we do?
Wow, that's a great question. Always ask your mom and dad. If you're not sure, if you got some new food and the snack looks really, really good, and mom and dad said you could throw it in the microwave, but you're not sure to take this off or to put the lid off or whatever it might be, just ask mom and dad, and they'll be able to help you. Okay?
Awesome.
So I guess that's it. I mean, that's microwave safety. Hopefully you guys learned a few things. What do you say we go wash a truck, Darren, and then come back in here and have a little bunk cake?
Yeah, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Is your recipe going to be on, or can we post that down below or anything? Like,
Yeah.
We share it with the kids,
yeah,
or
we could,
is this a secret recipe?
Well, actually, it's my great grandma's secret recipe.
Oh, we better leave that one
yeah,
then.
But what I can tell you is there's a lot of sugar in it.
All right.
You're gonna love it.
Great.
Until
Let's go
next
watch
time,
those.
Darren, let's go watch these trucks.
All right,
See you
we'll
guys
see you.
later.